doing today? Tell me where you're from. We'd love to know that. I have Victoria here with me, and we're going to have a little bit of fun with this Timberland tray. I don't know if I have ever made an arrangement in this tray before, but this is a wooden tray. It's about, I think, did I say 39 inches long? It's about 39 inches long, and so it's got all these fun little openings. It would be perfect, I think, for a tray to go on a table that holds food, or you could even put it on your table and put some fun little trinkets in it. But it's just kind of a neat container that we have here at the shop. And so I thought we would make an arrangement in it. My mind went to using it on a table for a party, if you were going to have a gathering at your home and you had all the food on the table. You could also use this. I thought we would add some flowers to a couple of the little openings, and then you could put like candy or chips or whatever in it, but it doubles as a flower arrangement and a container to hold some kind of treat at your gathering. Victoria, this is on our website, right? So it is called the Timberland Tray on our website, and it's actually 20% off. And I put all of that in the description of this video. So if anybody's interested, I put it in the description. It is, it's a wooden tray, and it was actually hand hewed. So you're gonna see if you ever put your hands on it, it's not a perfect, it's not perfect. It was meant to look rough and as if it was used, and so it's really a pretty container. So we're going to make a pretty arrangement in it. I'm going to start out with some foil. This is just a florist foil paper. We have used this foil to wrap plants with, but we also use it to line containers. Because this is wooden, I always like to put a liner in it, so I can't find a pair of scissors in my drawer, so I'm going to use this knife to cut my foil.
We have lots of hellos.
Hello everybody, so glad y'all are here. Let's see, where would I have? I'm going to grab a pair of scissors over here. My squeaky shoes, sorry guys. Alright, I found a pair of scissors. So I'm going to just take this foil paper and I am going to cut it, and I am going to push it down into one of the holes in this Timberland tray. Now it is made, this Timberland tray is made with Spanish oak, and so I just don't want to mess up the tray, so that's the reason behind adding some foil paper into the tray to keep it from leaking onto the tray. So I'm just taking that foil paper and I'm just pressing it right down into that opening. Just like that. I just pressed it right down in. Now you can absolutely use anything to line this with. It does not have to be this foil paper. You could probably even use tin foil if you wanted to. The reason I like the foil though is because it kind of catches that shape, holds the shape.
Miss Vicky on YouTube says she really loves the new backdrop.
Thank you, ma'am. Yes, this was Victoria's choice. She picked out this one. I think it lightens up the room, doesn't it? It looks so much brighter. So I'm just taking my scissors and I am just trimming up that foil. Pushing it kind of down into that container.
Miss Lenise Carter asks, how's your mama doing today?
Mama's doing pretty good. She's doing pretty good. She and Robbie, her eye doctor appointment went well yesterday. Her eye is well, so that is wonderful news. And her treatment went good this morning, so she was headed home to rest. But she's feeling better. Thank you for asking. Okay, I just took my floral knife and I cut that foam just kind of into a square, and I'm just going to set that right down into that little hole. And I'm going to take my second one and trim that up. Now, anytime you're using fresh floral foam, be sure you soak it first before you add it to your container. Now, I'll tell you what I think I'm going to do, just so that it'll kind of stay in this foil paper, is I'm going to take some waterproof tape, and I am going to not tape it necessarily to my container, but tape it to the foil. So I'm just taking that tape and I'm just going to come across it just like that.
Miss Rhea says this would be perfect for a mantelpiece.
Oh yes, Rhea, it certainly would. The nice part about it is it's heavy. So it's going to hold, you shouldn't have any issues with it kind of tipping. So I just taped it in. That's just going to help it to be sure that this is going to catch the water. So I just taped that right into place. And then I'm going to take my second one and do the exact same thing.
Miss Janice Baxalone asks, what is this arrangement? And Miss Linda Juster wants to know if it's for fun or for a customer.
It's just for fun. We've had these containers for quite a while, and they're actually on sale on our website right now. And I thought, you know what? I've not done an arrangement in this type of container. So I thought this would be a fun arrangement to make. And especially I was telling Victoria, I wanted to host a shower for my cousin's child this summer, and I kind of wanted to do a barbecue and kind of just have fun, and I thought this would be a perfect arrangement, a container to hold flowers plus hold some food on a table. And so that's the reason I thought we would just play with this container. So I have taken my foam and I've taped it right into that foil, and I'm just setting it right down in to the hole, whichever hole you choose, you can set it down into. You don't only have to do two, you can do as many of these little tiny arrangements as you wanted to. You can fill the entire piece with arrangements, but I thought it might be fun to use this as more of a food tray also. So I've picked out summer colors. We're going to start out with some foliage, and we've got some really pretty fun foliage today. We've got some gunayuke. I have some holly fern that is so pretty. I love the holly fern. I love the texture of the holly fern. And then I have some Italian ruscus that I thought would give us kind of a pretty flowy look. So I'm going to start out, I think we'll start out with the Italian ruscus first. That's down here to the side. So I'm going to take my ruscus, and I'm actually going to use my floral knife and cut it in half.
Miss Crystal says, hi ladies. Monty, have you ever used the foliage from peonies after they have died back? Wondering if it holds up.
I have not. Very often. I have never grown peonies. I've never attempted. I've got a sweet friend here in Mississippi, and she does grow peonies. But I've never attempted to grow peonies. So when we get peonies in, they're always ordered in. And we always remove the foliage because that helps promote the opening of the bloom. And so I have never tried to use it. But I think you probably could. Just play with it and see. So I'm just taking this this greenery, and I am cutting, it's Italian ruscus, and I'm cutting it into small pieces, and I'm just pressing it right into that floral foam.
Miss Catherine wants to know if we sell this tray.
Yes, this tray is for sale. On our website, it's $64.99, but it's on sale for 20% off. And I actually posted a link to this particular tray in the description of this video on Facebook. But everything on our website is on sale right now, except the Flowers by the Bunch merchandise, like the shirts and the mugs and things like that. But everything, the ribbons and the bows and all of the containers are on sale for 20% off, and you will use promo code SUMMER. Okay, so there's one, and then the next one I'm going to do much smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and green it out also. I'm not going to do nearly this large. It's going to be much smaller.
A few people are saying they've used the foliage from peonies and it's lovely.
And it's lovely. Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. I love that we all work together to answer questions.
Camly Aldridge says, you sure do love that holly fern, and I am falling in love with it too.
I do love this holly fern. I do. It's funny because I'll just tell Donna, she's my the lady that I order from Budsy, and I just tell her, send me something fun, and she'll send me holly fern. So that must be one of her favorites too. But it's really fun.
Grit and Grace on YouTube says, I got halfway through the puzzle video when this live popped up. LOL.
Yay! You can always go back. Isn't that wonderful, though, that you can always go back and rewatch something? Okay, so there is our Italian ruscus. Next, let's come in with a little bit of this fun eucalyptus. So look, this is one stem. That is crazy.
Oh, lots of folks are sending prayers for your mama.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, thank you. I was talking to Robbie, and she was saying that she thinks it helps for her to get out. I know that she's going to treatment, but it helps for her to get out and to have a reason to get up and get around. She seems to have a better day when she does that, so that's good. So I'm just taking my floral knife and cutting this eucalyptus into smaller pieces. And I said this one was going to be smaller, and it didn't get much smaller, did it?
Cam says, my favorite are palm leaves and any eucalyptus.
Any eucalyptus. Isn't it wonderful? I agree. I can't hardly make an arrangement if I can't use pretty mixed greens, and especially eucalyptus.
Greg Halkerum says, thank you for making my puzzle arrangement. I really love it.
Well, great. Thank you for the opportunity to make it. And thank you for the suggestion. It was such a fun arrangement to make. It turned out so pretty.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, make room for Osa.
I know. I don't know where Osa is this afternoon. Is he may be in the back. I'm not sure. We hadn't seen him in a minute. He's been here, though. In the middle of the floor, in the middle of all the action. Anytime we're busy, he has to be in the middle of the floor. It's been Victoria and I today, and we have been pretty steady. All right, so there's our greenery. And I do have my holly fern, so we're going to add a little bit of it. Drop it on the floor. Here's our pretty holly fern. I'm just cutting the rubber band off. Look how pretty that holly fern is. It is so pretty to me.
Rhea Norman, earlier she said, I can see this tray as a Christmas arrangement with the church candles in it. Church candles in some of the sections and little square vases filled with Christmas decorations.
Beautiful, Rhea. Yes, that sounds so pretty. Or even I could see collecting some of the old timey ornaments and tucking even some of your old ornaments in there. Even with some tinsel maybe, wouldn't that be pretty? But yes, so pretty. And then in the fall, you could do little pumpkins, little ornamental pumpkins.
Dawn Miller says it would be a great tray for a color wheel or a rainbow arrangement.
I need to do that. I haven't done. I love that beautiful rainbow arrangement that we did last year. Remember, with all of those beautiful colors?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it would be. Thanks, guys. We'll have to do another. Okay, so here's just our fun greenery. Honestly, wouldn't it be pretty just to leave greenery? I'm a greenery girl, so I like just a pretty arrangement of just the greenery. But there's our pretty greenery.
Dottie, where'd the comment go? Dottie asks, when using the knife, do you cut at an angle or straight?
I cut at an angle. And actually, I'm working on some fun videos, different videos, and I may do a reel, and we'll talk about using the floral knife and how I cut with the floral knife. So this is stock. This is a gorgeous fuchsia stock, just such a pretty color. And so I'm going to use this over here with some height. There's one bloom that was broken. I'm going to strip off a little bit of that foliage. I take my floral knife. I always leave, I don't know, I hold it just like this. So I have my pointer finger and my 3 fingers are wrapped around the stem, and then my thumb. I take that flower and I hold it between my thumb. I hold that thumb, and then I have the flower on the blade, and then I pull, and so it cuts it at an angle. But I'll show you in a video.
Gracie Smith on YouTube says, hello from Bog Whiteshell Lake, Canada. Catching you live today. Do you ever use myrtle? I notice you don't use a lot of standard carnations in your videos. Is this a lack of customer preference?
Absolutely. Now, I am a carnation girl. I love carnations, but my customers do not prefer carnations. And so I don't use ton, but I actually have carnations for this particular arrangement. We got in some mini carnations. And so I do have some pretty little carnations for this arrangement. But yes, very often I don't use them a whole lot in our floral design, and it's strictly because our customers don't prefer them, which it hurts my feelings. Okay, so I have 3 stems of stock there, and then I'm going to take, and I just threw those scissors in the trash.
Several people are wanting to see a video on how to use a floral knife.
Absolutely, we'll put that on our list, Victoria. We've been making a list today. Victoria and I just worked this morning on different ideas and different things for our videos. Summertime is always quiet. Often it's quiet, and so it's nice to be able to catch up on videos. So I'm going to take this stem, I'm going to strip off that foliage, use my floral knife, and again I've just got that stem kind of rested between my thumb, and I just pull with my opposite hand, and that's what cuts it. And yes, I do get cut by my knife.
Oh, and Grace on YouTube says, I'm dangerous with sharp objects. I have to use snips when I cut my flowers.
But I tell you, if you ever got the hang of using a floral knife, you would never go back to snips. And the reason is, between cutting with your snips, you lay them down and pick them up and cut, lay them down to insert, and you will find you are so much faster with a floral knife than you have ever been with snips. But I can't convince any of my girls of that. Nobody here uses a knife but me. And I probably have 20 knives laying around everywhere. So everywhere you see, there's probably going to be a couple of knives there because I walk away and lay them down. Okay, so there's our pretty stock. Next we're going to come in. I have a couple sunflowers over here.
Cam asks if you could do a video on foam wreaths and crosses. I would love to see your process, or your creative process on them.
Foam wreaths and crosses. So I've never done, I dropped my sunflower. I'm having a great day over here with all of my gadgets. I have never done a long video on using foam, and the reason is, Cam, is it takes a long time. Foam just takes a long time. Now I have probably, how many videos of me doing the time lapse where you'll see me take each stem, cut them off, and add them. But I've never done a tutorial like this just strictly because it takes a lot of time. So I cut this stem a little too short, and that's okay. I'm just going to nestle him right down into that foam, really deep down into the foam there. But it's just a time consuming because you have to use so many flowers to be sure to get it completely covered. I want to say, didn't I do the cross where I put all those flowers in the cross? All those, I think it's on YouTube. Not too long ago. So I just nestled those sunflowers real deep down into this arrangement, and I put one on one side and one on the other. I'll have to look, Cam. I think I did a cross on YouTube not too long ago. The floral cross with all of the roses. I may have done that video where it was a full video, but I'll look and see. This is Solidago aster. And so I'm going to just take my aster, and I like to just pop it. So I'm using my fingernail, and I'm just popping that aster into small pieces.
They said you did do a cross.
Yeah, and it was a full foam, wasn't it?
I wasn't here that day, so I don't remember. But they said that you did do.
I thought I did it on a live, or I did it on YouTube one. But it was a full cross, and they're all done exactly the same, where you're just going to cut them real short and tuck them into that foam. And I've done several tutorials where it was the real fast.
Grit and Grace on YouTube says, my goodness, those sunflowers look beautiful. Did those come from Budsy?
They did. Those came from Budsy, yes. Okay, so there is a little bit of Solidago. And again, I'm just taking my Solidago and popping it into small pieces and just tucking it low.
Miss Lisa McHenry says, yes, it was foam for that
yes.
cross.
And I hung, actually, I used a wooden cross that I hung a foam form on, a fresh floral foam. Okay, so there is Solidago sunflowers in our pretty stock. Next, I thought we would use some of these beautiful red roses. So yesterday I did a dozen roses with red roses, but y'all, these fortunes are gorgeous. These are from Budsy. I have never used this variety, but they are so pretty, and they're really hard and beautiful roses. So I thought this red would be pretty for summer. I was kind of going a summer theme. So I'm just going to take it, cut it with my knife.
Wayne Barrymore says, Monty, you do such great work.
Oh, you're so kind. Thank you.
Maria wants to know what this arrangement is for.
This arrangement is for fun. I was wanting to use this pretty container. This is called a Timberland tray, and we actually have these for sale, and so I was really just wanting to do this, use this container, so that's the reason we're making this arrangement. Okay, so I tucked in a couple red roses. Next, we're going to come in with some Asiatic lilies. So you don't see me use Asiatic lilies very often. I don't get them very often, but I wanted some color. And so Asiatic lilies are the lilies that, they're a smaller variety of lily. They do not have all the fragrance that an Oriental lily has. But they come in lots of fun colors. They come in an orange and a pink and a white and a yellow. And so we got in these pretty Asiatic lilies. Now, you can see it's got its pollen still in it. That's the stamen. So what I'm going to do is, and they have started to open up, but I'm going to go ahead and take them and pull those out. It's always important that you pull those out because they're going to stain you or your clothes or the lily. So go ahead and always pull the stamens out of the lilies. I'm going to take my floral knife, and I'm actually going to cut this into several blooms. So I'm just going to take my floral knife and cut them all off the stem. So that gives me 3 different insertions, and this little guy is broken, so I'm going to cut him off. But it's the bud, a full open lily, and then a popped, it's starting to crack. So I'm just going to take him.
Miss Cheryl wants to know if you could plant flowers for a patio in this container.
The only thing is you would have to drill holes so that it would drain, but I'm certain you could. I don't see any reason why you couldn't. You may want to line it just because it is wooden, but I could almost see succulents would be pretty in it.
Miss Janelle wants to know what type of lily that is.
It's just a yellow Asiatic lily. They're just smaller lilies. They don't have all of the fragrance that an Oriental has. And you don't see me using them very often. I would say I really like an Oriental better, but I love that these are a fun little summery type lily, and they're kind of fun to work with in the summer.
Miss Lenise Carter. Let me find it. She says she was scrolling this morning and saw someone make a silk flower arrangement on the bottom of the small hula hoops zip tied together to create a sphere. She says the hula hoops were red, white, and blue, and the flowers were too, and they hung it from a lower tree branch or a flower tree branch. She said she thought you could make one much prettier.
Yeah, we can play with that. We can certainly play with that. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so there's our lilies tucked in. I kind of tucked that one to that side, and then this guy's over here. And then we've got the buds kind of peeking out. There's another bud peeking out there. Okay, next we have got our fuchsia mini carnations. So really with this container, y'all, you don't have to use this many flowers if you don't want to. You could honestly use whatever. Look at those sweet little mini carnations. I thought they matched the fuchsia so well with the stock. Now, you probably don't need but one or two of these stems. And what I'm going to do is take my floral knife and I'm going to cut them into several different flowers or several different insertions. So I'm just taking my floral knife and cutting them apart.
Heather Reeves says she's happy to catch us live. This looks interesting. She seems to have spent all her spare time at the hospital or doctors lately. She hopes your mother is doing well.
Thank you so much, friend. I'm so sorry you haven't been well.
Miss Rolene Brown wants to know what happened to our brick wall.
It's behind there. It's hiding. It's hiding behind this backdrop. So we purchase different backdrops every so often. And Miss Victoria chose this one, this lighter colored one. But it's still, we keep them hanging up back there. So if we decide to change it, it's very easy to change.
Miss Barbara, this was just a just for fun arrangement.
A just for fun in this fun little container.
Winona Banks says, love this container. It's amazing how you can use so many different styles of containers and they always end up beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always fun, though, to use a container that wasn't really meant for flowers and make it beautiful. Okay, so the last flower that I am going to use is going to be some of these yin yang daisies. So I'm going to pull the paper off of them.
Grit and Grace on YouTube says, by the way, thanks for the pro tips on how to save our clothes from the lily pollen. I've ruined a lot of clothes until that tidbit of info.
Oh, I'm so glad. I am so glad. We actually, Victoria had a friend who, was it Jackson?
It was Zach.
Zach.
Mm-hmm.
He got some pollen on his clothes, and so Victoria's like, okay, so is this exactly how you do it? So these are called yin yang daisies, and they're just sweet little white daisies with a little dark center. So the tip of getting pollen off your clothes, if you have not heard that fun little tip, is you are going to take that shirt. So say I got pollen on this blouse. I'm going to take this blouse and lay it in the sunshine. Now it does not have to be outside in the sunshine. I've got sun pouring in on the floor over here. We could lay it right there in that sunshine and the sun will absorb the pollen. It's the most interesting thing in the whole world, but it really works. Go ahead.
He said, I asked him last night and he said that he tried it and he was skeptical, like he didn't believe me at first when I told him to do that. But he said it worked amazing and that there's no stain in there.
There's no stain. It will absorb it. Now pollen, if you ever get it on your hands, it's all over my hands. Pollen is kind of oily. It has a little bit of a oil in it. And so when you rub it in your clothes, you rub it right in. It's not going like you're trying to rub it out, but it is going right into your clothing. And it's really hard to get out. I don't even know if a stain remover will take it out of your clothes. And when you work in the flower shop, you're going to get it on your clothes. You just are. You're going to pass by them, the lilies sitting in a bucket, and you're going to get pollen on your pants or what have you. We went dark on YouTube. Give us just a second. So if you will take it, and it does not have to be outside, it can certainly be inside, wherever the sunshine pours in. Lay it in that sunshine and the sun will absorb it. I promise it will do it.
You have Miss Amy Marshall on YouTube says, stealing several moments from work watching from Pearl, Mississippi. She says hello.
Hello, friend. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here.
Miss Barbara Meyer says, love this container. So love watching. It gives me joy.
Oh, I'm so thankful.
And Tyler Cross asks, how long would you expect an arrangement to last?
Okay, so this arrangement, what you're going to do is you saw me, I don't know if you saw me, at the very beginning of the video, I took that with my scissors and I cut that in half, so I have 2 insertions into the arrangement. Anyway, I'll lift it back up out of this container and show you real quick. I wrapped that foam in a foil paper. So the foil paper is waterproof and it will hold water. If you look close, that foil is wrapped around the foam. You're going to take this foil and set it in the sink and just add a little water to it. And it kind of feels like, with me holding it right here, it kind of feels like a little diaper. It's just a little water pack up underneath, and it's just keeping my container from getting wet. But you can just set this in the sink and add some water into that little foil paper, and it's going to hold the water in the container. Now, it's going to need watered every single day for it to last any amount of time. Some flowers are going to die off quicker than others, and so as they begin to die, just pull the spent flowers out and just enjoy the longer lasting blooms until they're gone. Now, some of these lilies, they will continue to open up. So like this bud has already started to crack, it's going to go ahead and open up. When it does, pull the pollen, pull the stamens out so that the pollen won't get everywhere, because it's going to. Pollen's just going to shed onto things and get everything yellow. Go ahead and pull the pollen. But yeah, as the flowers start to fade, pull those out. If you want to add some more longer lasting blooms out of your yard into the arrangement, just kind of enjoy it and play with it. Now, with the nice part about me not taping this down into this container is I can figure out exactly where I want to add whatever treats I'm going to add to this tray. So I may move my larger arrangement down to the very end. And then I brought just some candy just to kind of show you how you can fill, like these are just little pre-wrapped treats. You can fill your little spaces in this Timberland tray with just treats. And it can be candy, it can be whatever you'd like. But I just thought it might be fun to put pre-wrapped candy and kind of show you how you could add treats to your tray.
Miss Margaret Lynch says, Monty, I would have to send you my shirt. We don't have much sunshine.
Oh.
Cam says, Arm & Hammer detergent with OxyClean Stain Fighter will remove the pollen as
It
well.
will? Perfect. Thanks, Cam.
On YouTube, Grit and Grace asks, if you ever get the Viking daisy, she says, our supplier carries those but not the yin yang.
Yes, now I love the Viking daisies too. I haven't had them in quite a while. I need to get some. But I do love the Viking daisies too, because they kind of look like little black-eyed Susans, and I love that. Or tiny little sunflowers, which is so fun. But there is our container. And so, of course, whatever treats or what have you would like to put in there, you certainly can. But it's kind of just a fun way to display flowers and to have it on your food table and it be very versatile. But it's a fun little container.
Kyle Fletcher wants to know if we've had a busy day.
We have, Kyle. We've been steady all day. Like Victoria and I came in, we got to talking. We talked a lot. We probably talked for an hour before we ever really got started. But gosh, Jason was delivering all afternoon. So we've had a really busy, steady, wonderful day. We've got a lot done. I feel very accomplished today. I did 2 videos for YouTube, and Victoria and I helped me plan out some fun new ideas for the website, and so we're excited. We're excited.
They're really loving this.
Isn't this fun? Now, of course, you do not have to do 2 arrangements. You could absolutely do 1 arrangement and put all your treats all the way down, and just kind of have your treats or what have you. You can really do whatever you'd like with this container, but it's really kind of fun and different, and a fun way to display both your treats and your pretty flowers. And you know me, you have to have pretty flowers. What kind of party would it be without flowers?
Miss Donna asks, where did you ever pick that container from? That's the sparkle.
Isn't this container wonderful? We have these containers for sale on our website, and it is called the Timberland Tray, and they are 20% off right now with promo code SUMMER. So if you're interested in this container, we do have them for sale here, and so they are beautiful. I think we have probably 6 of these for sale. Probably 6 left in inventory. Maybe 1 or 2 more.
Oh, Miss Kelly Hatler says Sarah's waving and says hi, everyone.
Hello, sweet Sarah. Hello. So glad you're here, sweet Sarah.
They're saying they love it. I don't see any more questions.
Guys, thank y'all so much for being here. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you all so very much. Remember, anytime you use, I don't know if I said this earlier, and I always like to say it because you never know. Anytime you use fresh floral foam, be sure to soak it first before you add flowers into your fresh floral foam. Soaking it is very, very, very important. If you have any questions about how we do things here at the shop, you can always ask. And I know I say that every time, but I love questions. So you're always welcome to ask us any kind of questions you might have. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up or a heart. That just helps people see us. Do me a favor over here on Facebook. If you haven't checked us out over on YouTube, please check us out over there. And we also are on TikTok and Instagram. So we'd love to have you there. Do me a great big favor, sprinkle this video, and we will be back first thing in the morning at 8 o'clock to do our devotions. So come back and join us then. See you all